Okay, well, bright and early this morning I got up and it turned out I actually didn't have to go to work. I went over there and I totally forgot that someone was working for me today. So anyway, that was very exciting because then I could come back and have a look at the little viola that I got the other day. Okay, now I think this is a German viola, probably made, it doesn't say in here where it's, well, it's made in Germany, but it doesn't say when, but I'll estimate 50s, 60s, I don't know, something like that, 40s. Actually, the maker is Antoine Dietl. I gather makes some relatively good student instruments. So I took it out, and you know what happened? I don't know. Have you ever like sniffed your fingerboard and gone like, oh my God, that's gross? Well, I sniffed this. I kept smelling. I was getting a whiff of it while I was trying to deal with viola, and it smells like old garlic. So I guess someone maybe played this who ate a lot of garlic, and I don't know, it seeped out into the fingerboard. I don't know. It's strange, but so this is how it's sounding right out of the case. Still working on that little finger, but I think if I work on the viola with a little finger, that's going to like transfer back to the violin and put me in a better position violin-wise to deal with the little finger, because clearly you have to do more on the viola in terms of vibrato. I mean, the drawback, of course, is that when you go back to the violin, then you have this weird wide vibrato. But as you can see, I already have like too narrow of a vibrato for a viola. But I'm not going to worry about it too much right now, even though it sounds like I am, but I'm just analyzing everything, as I usually do. Get that wider. I think this bow could use some work. It's going clear down to the stick when I try to play loudly, and I can feel the stick. It's kind of, I don't like that feeling. Widen it somehow. Small viola, so it's not going to have like the fullest tone, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, you can definitely, if you're in a little orchestra, non-paid orchestra, definitely bring this out with no trouble to play in the section. And no, it's not for sale. I'm keeping it because I intend to start playing, because I decided all my friends who play stringed instruments, they look happy, and I think it holds a key. I think it probably makes people happier to play a stringed instrument. So that's the theory I'm going on now. I'm saying to myself, there really is something about chamber music. And let me put in a plug too for classical music, because as many people know, there's been a kind of a trend away from classical music, and people don't come to the concerts the way they used to, and the demographic tends to be us older folks are going, but the young people, well, they have their raves and rants and raves and whatever they have, you know. And but there really is something to be said for really nice orchestral performance or a string quartet. I went and heard a string quartet playing Schubert music a couple weeks ago, and yeah, you know, it really is more involving. I mean, it's just kind of takes over your whole head instead of like kind of, you know, some rock and roll or something. And I mean, I don't hate rock and roll. Yeah, I don't mind rock and roll. I don't mind pop. There are a lot of songs I like, but they're very simple. And there's something about the complexity of what can happen, like, and also the complexity alternated with simplicity. It just, to me, you know, it takes you into other places that you might otherwise not know existed. And I can't really characterize what those places are because they're sort of mental places, but it's like they're happening, but you can't really say anything about it. It's very, very hard to describe. Um, so let's not lose classical music because it does take us to those places. So I'm going to look at the viola part of this David Stone just briefly because I want to know what I'm putting through our brand new violist in my gradually building string quartet. So I want to know what he's having to go through here to play this. Oh, haha, natural. Bad eyesight too. Then he has a solo here. Let's get rid of lose that violin vibrato. So much of a bigger reach on the viola, although not on this little one so much, fortunately. Let's try it again. What can I do for that upbeat to make it more connected? Yeah, so the string crossing is part of the problem. Still not in tune. That's wrong. Okay, because I don't really read viola clef. I pretend I'm playing violin in the third position in order to read it. And it works up to a point, and then you have troubles. Okay, so that's the little viola, and hopefully I'm going to get better on that too. And I'm going to go and clean this fingerboard because it really stinks. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.